Marietta. I'm a clairvoyant, medium and psychic. If you want to have a personal reading, you need to go to my website, mariettatiernissen.com. Today I'm doing Earth signs now for April with tarot cards and angel cards, which are general readings. So we're starting off with Capricorn. I shuffled already for Capricorn and for the Earth signs. Everything is protected and clear. Let's take out a card for the past, for Capricorn, then for the present, and for the future. And then we take a card as a real obstacle, in other words, where we don't want to go. And then one, how to handle the situation at best. So the past is the death card, which is not necessarily a death, but it could be. But it's definitely a phase that's coming to an end, which has to do with a lot of changes. And often the changes are not to go back to. So after death, we need to go into a new life unfolding, but it all takes time. Where the present at the moment is that you're confronted, or you have yourself confronted with a lot of options, maybe too many options to choose from. So it would be wise to actually have a look at the options and choose something so that you have in the future the Empress card. The Empress card is always a very fertile, fruitful. It could even be that certain Capricorn people fall pregnant, or that you have a very creative project, or that you have a very strong motherly figure looking over you, or that you're dealing at the moment with a very creative project in your work or in your life, or that you've planned to actually have a child, or have a child symbolically, which means that you start a new project. What not to do is just going into the world, or moving away, or just thinking that this is all done, because then we would lose out on opportunities that we can actually deal with here. So do not see this already as all complete, because it will still take time before there is completion. And do not think that you've arrived at a certain point in your life if you haven't arrived there yet, because then one could actually abort the situation before it's really successful. And how to handle it best is the Knight of Rods, which is actually taking all these new decisions and starting something new, although we don't know as yet whether it will be really successful or not, but it's on the right track. In other words, be adventurous, be excited, move forward with this, be like a young adult that takes on a new challenge, and don't just sit back and think that it's already done. This is for Capricorn. Let's have a look at a Capricorn card, at an angel card as extra advice. The extra advice card for Capricorn is focus upon your strengths. In other words, every day, focus upon your strengths. It's very much like the Knight of Rods, to actually work with your strengths, focus on your strengths, focus on what you need to want to do to put things into place, so that you don't think it's already complete and therefore sit back and don't do anything about it. So that this is a process, because even the death card is not an instant situation. It takes some time before the skin is shed and a new skin is built, or a skin is shedded and a new one grows. So it all takes time, and sometimes it's even as long as 6 to 8 to 12 months. The message card here is, as I change, my reality changes for me. Remember that Rome wasn't built in a day. So also with our own changes and our own improvements, we do not jump from grade 1 to grade 12, but we take steps one by one, and with every choice and action we take forward, we actually change karma. So this is maybe not new to Capricorn, who are people who take one step after another and who are very thorough, but also very practical. But in this instant, maybe they're just so done with being patient and persevering that they just want this to be finished or to emigrate just here and there instead of really following through till everything falls into place. This is then for Capricorn. I will now do the reading for Taurus. Taurus is from the 22nd of April to the 22nd, 23rd of May. What do I need to know for Taurus for the month of April? For the month of April, the past for Taurus, the present for Taurus, the future for Taurus, the real obstacle for Taurus, and then the challenge, how to handle the situation at its best. The past for Taurus is the Emperor. Again, we had this before already. It's a very settled, orderly situation in the past, building structure, being practical, being orderly, being an emperor, taking charge of your life. In the present situation, most likely Taurians feel that they have lack, especially when it comes to finances, or that there is not enough at the moment. Instead of not feeling that there is enough, have a look at the people around you, that you actually have people who are with you, and that there is a light of the church in the background or the window in the background. So do not forget about the people that support you, that are your friends, that are your loved ones, that are dealing with you and are dependent on you and your positive outlook. So turn your lack into gratitude to then have in the future the world, which is then making a complete, having fulfillment, making a complete move, or feeling fulfilled, or making a move, or changing completely into a phase of fulfillment in all regards. So this is also very often a pleasant move, a pleasant situation in one's life, where things then fall into place. The biggest challenge is that do not get trapped or do not get involved in too much fighting, because you're not going to win this struggle. So do not fight with people around you, because especially now for Taurians and Scorpion people, in the next few weeks in April, there is an eclipse taking place. An eclipse is always an ending and a new beginning. Do not get involved in power struggles or in being right, because you will walk away feeling that you've not won the battle. And then how to deal with it is maybe to listen to a female independent woman that gives good advice, is very mature, and very much says, you know what, this is not as important. Maybe you need to look at it from a different angle and saying that, will this really matter in 5 years' time? So don't become too stubborn. Don't become too much into a role of, I only have lack, I don't have enough possessions. Instead of looking at your possessions and what you don't have, rather look at the future, and that you can take that trip, or you can think in terms of that emigration or move to the sea or to wherever you want to go, and that you look at it more with a wider perspective. The card that I draw for Taurus to look at an extra advice card is the following. purification. In other words, let go of too much materialism, let go of struggling and being too stubborn, be a bit more pure, a bit more purified. In other words, let go of things that are negative, even in your food. See to it that you eat less, maybe sugar or dairy or whatever clogs you up, and drink a bit more water and avoid alcohol during this time, because it seems that you're quite volatile during this time to go into negative thinking. And the general advice is I must be self-aware and self-nurturing. In other words, really look at it that you want to change certain attitudes, you don't want to fight with the people around you, and that this is not the end, but that there is a whole journey still unfolding, and that we do not have to stay stuck like OCD on a certain situation or with certain circumstances to then prove our point. So be self-nurturing, be self-aware, and maybe take a step back. This is then for Taurus. The next card is for Virgo. I always tend to think Virgos are not earth signs because they're highly strung and very focused in a way that often Gemini people are, or more Gemini, because they're also highly strung, they're very precise, they're very pure, they're very analytical, they're distanced from situations. So they may be the least grounded of the earth signs. Let's take one for the past. For Virgo, 22nd of August till 22nd of September. Present, future. Remember, these are general cards, general readings, not personal specific readings. So if it resonates, take it. If it doesn't, move on. These are for the month of April. What should you not do? And what is the best way to handle things? Okay. The past is the strength card. In other words, really rely on your strength. Know that you have the strength, because in the present, you need to hold on to your 4 Pentacles. You need to hold on to what you have, but don't become too obsessive. Don't become too OCD that you do not see that there's actually a flow to financial situations and that we cannot hold on too tightly. But sometimes it also means that certain people will actually go and buy a house because they want to really put down the 4 Pentacles in terms of this is a house, or this is really materialistic, or it's with material things, it's brick and mortar, or that you hold on to this. Don't become stingy, but also don't become too frivolous with money. In the future, there is this card of a happy family, really a very happy, harmonious family card, and everything is actually in harmony and in order. Don't go into just focusing on the children or focusing on your pets or your fishies or your general thoughts of just the family, because that at the moment will not bring you what you're looking for. Because the advice card, what would be best here is see that your family is well looked after, but it also has the 10 of Pentacles, which means that money will come in, there will be happiness, and very often this family is not aware of the guides and the divine energies that are in the past, and that everything is actually in good order, and that they can be very grateful for the material things that they have, and that there is actually abundance coming, and that there is abundance, and believing in abundance. There's no negative cards in this Virgo deck, and I'm now going to choose a card for the general message for Virgo. So in general, Virgos need to have the faith that all is actually well at this stage, but that they have to be careful with their expenses before there is really the achievement card, which will be there, and that their strength has actually brought them success. So there will be rewards, and at the moment it's important to just go on and look after the finances for April, because it's still quite tight. The message card is, you are a wondrous being of light. There's nothing to fix or change. So do not suddenly become self-critical, or that you feel you're not worthy enough or not perfect enough, because remember that no human being is perfect. We are all not perfect. We're all on a journey to becoming whole, which is also not necessarily perfect. And the card as a message is, I must let down my defenses and share myself. So maybe in this family and with your loved ones, it's important to also let go of the worries or discuss them with somebody to be less anxious. This is then for the signs, the earth signs in general, for the month of April. If you want to get in touch with me, you can go to mariettatjennissen.com. Till next month.